So Capital Markets Day is today, and we have two main themes. One is that obviously investors see myself and Eric, our CFO, all the time. So it'd be nice for them to see the whole execution team from product management, engineering, all the way through to sales, marketing, and so on. So that we're really excited about investors seeing the entire execution team. Also, we have the VP of Sales from IBM, and I hope he will be talking about various things that IBM are doing with WANdisco's technology, including the size of the market and some of the potential customers that they're looking to close in the near, medium, and long term. So obviously, the business pivoted from being a direct selling organization, sort of 2013 to 2015, to an indirect sales organization between 2015 to date. And that really has really important meaning for WANdisco. It gives us tremendous operational leverage. So we announced OEM deals with IBM. We've also announced further partnerships. In fact, this morning we announced an enhancement to our Microsoft partnership where we're embedding onto their physical delivery device for data. It's called Data Box. We're very excited about that. Amazon, we've announced several new partnerships, several enhancements to our partnerships, including a hybrid cloud where with one click you can deploy WANdisco's technology into AWS cloud and develop a hybrid cloud between on-premise and cloud. Oracle, we've already announced several deals. Through the Oracle channel, we've enhanced that partnership now to be associated with their cloud computing strategy. So overall, I think partnerships are very, very strong for WANdisco and very important for our future. So WANdisco solves some pretty important use cases for our customers and partners. They really fall into four categories. One is disaster recovery between on-premise data center to on-premise data center. Others include migration of data from on-premise to cloud. And we all know how important cloud computing is. And most of the companies in the cloud today were actually born in the cloud. Arguably, Airbnb and Tinder and companies like that wouldn't exist if it weren't for the competitive pricing and complete elasticity of cloud computing. But how do companies that are, the majority of companies have their data on-premise, how do they get from on-premise into the cloud, especially for transactional data, active transactional data? This is a really hard problem. WANdisco solves that in two ways. One, which is the ability to perform hybrid cloud, bursting out to cloud and the movement of data to cloud. And the second is the movement of data using a physical device. So Amazon have a product called Snowball, Microsoft have Databox, Alibaba and others are going to have the same thing moving forward. And how do you move that in an offline mode into the cloud? Well, WANdisco also solves that problem too. So we're very excited about those use cases. I think they're very important for the ability for companies to move data from on-premise into cloud. So WANdisco's addressable market is very large. The movement of data on-premise into cloud, for example, is going to be very big by 2020. It's anticipated that will be a $10 billion total addressable market. So the total addressable market for WANdisco's technology, the movement of active transactional data from on-premise into cloud, the movement of data from on-premise to on-premise for disaster recovery, and the movement of other data into cloud and for other reasons so you can achieve high availability will be a $10 billion market by 2020. So WANdisco are very fortunate that we have patents in the way that you can perform the movement of active transactional data. That means data that changes and moves from one place to another without an interruption to service. Now, the alternative to WANdisco is, of course, that you have an interruption to service. It's called time-based or batch-based replication. So imagine that you sort of take a time slice of data at a particular point and then move it. That requires, so you can guarantee consistency, an outage. WANdisco are able to do that without any outage at all, meaning that you can have business continuity. Now, in a world of small data equals a small outage, but in the world of big data, where you have exabyte or petabyte scale, data that's 1,000 or 1,000,000 times bigger, it means that that outage is also 1,000 or 1,000,000 times bigger, which of course creates a huge problem for companies looking to move data from on-premise to cloud, looking to achieve high availability, continuous availability of their business. WANdisco solves these problems in a hyperscale or a big data environment.
As David said, it's key for us to go to market through our channel partners, Microsoft, Amazon, IBM, Oracle, etc. And that's the key driver for revenues for the company. And going forward, one of the key performance indicators of the company on a qualitative view is to look at how we broaden and deepen the relationship with existing partners and as we add new ones. That's key for us to drive revenues going forward and also to drive predictability in the business. Once you get partners established and they're selling reliably a certain amount quarter over quarter, that tends to bring predictability to the business with a multiplicity of partners, and that's what we're looking to achieve. From a quantitative perspective for financial KPIs going forward, we would look to obviously tracking the level of bookings, which is the dollar value of contracts received in any given period. Then looking at the operating expenses, cash overheads, and going and with a view to looking at how well we're containing our costs. I think we saw in the results at the first half of the year very strong acceleration in bookings for our Fusion product, up 173%, 73% up overall year over year, half year to half year, and our first EBITDA, adjusted EBITDA positive period in the operating history of the company. So going forward, that's what we would expect to track from a key financial level, is the level of bookings, operating expenses, and cash burn.